This is the SAU Report, a program featuring interviews with the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.
Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Casey Wilson.
And I'm Marsha Walters. Today we have a Student Issues Forum discussing items of interest with Southern Arkansas University students. With us today is Angela Bradford and Kaine Ezell. Angela, what has your overall experience at SAU been like so far?
So far it's been pretty fair. My first 2 years I had fun. That's when I joined my sorority. This last year I've been trying to buckle down to get out of school. So it's been pretty good.
Kaine, have your experiences at SAU what have your experiences been like?
So far they've been pretty good. This is my first year here since I transferred here last year. But I've really getting to know the people, trying to get to know the teachers and the kids on campus and all that. But so far it's been pretty good. I've really enjoyed it this year.
Kaine, all in itself, do you feel that SAU provides a friendly campus in terms of the attitudes of the students and pretty much the general population on campus?
I've experienced a good attitude on campus and real friendly atmosphere at SAU in the experience I've been here so far.
Okay.
Angela, how do you feel about the civility campaign that is being pushed around campus, and do you feel it is working?
I thought that campaign was very, very good, but did it work? No. You can't just hang banners and posters around campus telling people to be nice to one another and they're going to listen to that. That comes from home training, and I don't think it's up to Southern Arkansas University to teach their students how to behave. We're all supposed to be grown. So if they haven't learned by now, they will not learn.
True. But overall, do you feel that Southern Arkansas University provides a safe campus for their students to learn and, more importantly, to live?
I think so. At nighttime, if one want to go to the library, they can be escorted by the police departments. And it's pretty much well lit at night also. I think it's pretty safe. And at dorms residents, I know once you go through the double doors, that it automatically locks, so no one can just burst in unless they have access or a key or such. So I think it's pretty safe.
I must agree because throughout the night you notice that there are police patrols all over campus. I really believe it's pretty safe.
Okay. Well, Kaine, do you feel that registration at SAU is student-friendly?
For the most part it is. The only problems I've really experienced with it is for students having loans. You know, you pre-register, you go through all that trouble of pre-registering, and then your schedule gets dropped because maybe your loan's being a little late coming through. And I think they could work a little bit more with that.
Right.
But other than that, it's really a pretty smooth process.
Okay.
Registration for me, I'm an international student, and registration for us, it's pretty good because we're coming here, we're new to the school, we're new to the country, and the advisors make it pretty helpful. They make it easy. They tell you exactly what you need, what you have. They make it a pretty easy process. Angela, however, did you find your advisor accessible, friendly, generally interested in helping you?
Yes, he was. My advisor is James Redford. Anytime I needed his help, he was always there. He told me what classes I needed. And I think it's easier to go into the advisor instead of going through the long lines up in Nelson Hall. Yes, he's always been very nice and helpful.
Okay.
I agree. Sarah Jennings is my advisor, and she's great. Okay, Kaine, do you think enough attention is given to incoming transfer students in relation to freshmen?
Not in relation to freshmen, because as you know, I'm a transfer student here, and they really didn't have any kind of programs for transfer students to get to know other students or the teachers or the campus. And if they did have one, I wasn't told about it. I mean, they give the freshmen, you know, the big meal rider roundup and all that. I mean, the least they could do for transfer students is to give us the free T-shirt that they give the freshmen. I'd really like to have that.
Overall, Kaine, do you think that this university provides adequate information technology and library services?
Oh yeah, you know, like I said, I'm a transfer student, and I'm also a commuter, and I don't have a computer at home or anything. So it's real helpful to have the computer labs in the library and all that up here, you know, that I can use because I don't get to get that at home. So I really enjoy that.
Ask Angela the question.
Angela, what about you? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's basically the same as Kaine's idea, pretty much the same.
The library, I think, the library is pretty efficient in terms of the services it provides. However, there are a lot of students that go to class throughout the day and then they work in the afternoon, and they need somewhere quiet to study throughout the night. That's one problem I found the library to have, is that it closes at 10 p.m., which is a little early there should be somewhere for students to be able to study, because you have the dorms, but there's sometimes the dorms, we're college students, you know, sometimes it gets a little loud. But overall, I think the library is pretty efficient. There's always someone there to help you. And I must commend SAU for extending the hours in the computer lab. Stretching it out to 11 p.m. has helped a lot of people get their papers done on time. So I must commend them for that.
Angela, SAU provides supplemental instructors and tutors for various subjects. Have you found these services helpful and adequate?
Yes, my first semester here, I had problems with my math class, and I went to the library downstairs. That's where I keep their classes. And my teacher was there, and he helped me until I finally got the problem resolved. But yes, I think it's very helpful. And it's good to know you can always go to a place that was there to help you. So it helped me out a lot. I haven't been since, but if I ever need help again, I will go.
Well, the tutoring center is pretty helpful. It's open all hours of the day for people that have classes throughout the day. It's open throughout the night. There's nighttime tutoring for a roll of subjects. There's the SIs I find very helpful, because the fact is it's different from the classroom, because in the classroom you get taught by your teacher, but like supplemental instructors are peers. They actually help you study, and you know, they go over things with you because they're your peers, but they've already done the class and they've already excelled in the class, so they know exactly what you need. They help you out so well. How accessible are the professors on this campus, Kaine, in terms of out of classroom aid and just general help?
In my experience, my professors have been very accessible. I've had the best teachers I've ever had in my experience here at SAU, and I've been to 2 other colleges also. So I've went through my share of teachers, and by far these have been the most helpful, most accessible I've had at any college.
Okay. Do you feel that the courses they teach there, are they student friendly? Do they try to is their first priority helping the student? Do you feel that?
I think so. They always take the time out, you know, to make sure you understand the stuff, and you know, if they need to help you out of class, they'll do that. You know, they'll take that time, or at least the professors I've had do that.
Okay. Well, Kaine, do you feel that the teachers should be as strict as many are concerning absences from students, considering the fact that we pay tuition?
No, not really. I don't think it should really matter. You know, if we're paying our tuition, how many days we miss. You know, if we pass the class, you know, we pass the class, no matter if we didn't come at all. You know.
Right.
I mean, if we make an A, you know, they shouldn't take that away just because we missed.
And sometimes
4 days.
absences are unavoidable, you know, and some teachers just aren't understanding about things like that. I agree.
Angela, I know you used to live in the dorms. You live off campus now, but how satisfied were you with the quality of the residence buildings that SAU provides for its students?
Well, when I was staying on campus, I was a freshman, and my whole hall was freshmen. They were all loud. They played their music all night long, every night. And my biggest problem was the restrooms. I didn't think it was clean enough, and I really was not comfortable that guards came into the hall. They're supposed to be escorted at all times, but sometimes they get checked in by someone and just run the halls, and I never felt comfortable going to the restroom at night. That was my biggest problem. Other than that, it was pretty okay. It was okay.
Well, I still live on campus. I'm a freshman and I still live on campus. I live in Grand Annex. And right now the visitation policies are a lot more strict. The males on female floors, they're not allowed to just roam the halls. They have to be escorted at all times. It's a lot better structured now. And the restrooms, the quality is improved by far, because the thing about it is that the physical plant, they come in now 3-4 times a week. They always make sure that it's clean, and the quality's it's gone up over the years, because I've spoken to people that's been here before, and they admitted to that the quality of the residence halls are much better now. But what improvements do you think could be made, Angela?
I remember one time I was laying in my room asleep, and the physical plant just came in and sprayed bug spray all over the room. And I feel like they should have called me before coming up and letting me know someone was coming to my room, because if something came stolen, I would blame my roommates. So just let us know when you all are coming into our room, and everything should be okay. That's my only concern on that question.
Okay, well, right now I must admit the physical plant doesn't really do that anymore. It's a lot more structured, a lot more professional now. You have certain times where, you know, the physical plant will be on your dorm making improvements or cleaning or things like that. So the improvements in terms of them being there, it's gone up a lot more. My only problem is with living on the residence halls. My dorm is Graham Annex, and I understand the residence halls were built decades ago, and they've tried to make as many improvements as they can, and I'm more or less satisfied. The thing about Graham Annex is I'd prefer that the rooms are divided by partitions, and that doesn't really lend a lot to privacy purposes, and it ends up giving you 3 roommates instead of 1. And it would be just a lot better. I mean, I have no problem with my neighbors. They could get a bit loud because they're members of clubs and things like that. But Graham Annex is one of the older dorms that has the least improvement. So I can understand the fact that there's still a problem with it. But those partitions need to be improved vastly. But I've heard that halls like Bussey and Harrod are pretty good. And the boys' dorms, they have complete walls and everything. They're pretty good.
Okay, moving on. Kaine, do you feel that there are adequate venues for students to voice their opinions and views?
I think so. I mean, if they want to say something in the paper, they can write a letter to the editor. And there are other avenues that they can take, by using email and other assets on this campus. I think there's plenty of venues for students to vent concerns.
Well, the school paper, the Beret, is published every week, Angela. What is your opinion on it, and do you think it's representative of the students on campus?
I love the Beret, to be honest. And I think if an organization wants to voice themselves, that is the perfect way. A lot of people just don't do anything. And if you don't do anything, there's nothing for the Beret to do. Most people call the Beret and tell them what they want them to know. There are a lot of organizations who do not do that. So if they don't get, their name in the paper, whatever, it's their own fault. I think the Bray is great.
I agree. I live off campus also, and the Bray is my main way to find out about things that are going on campus. So I think they do a great job.
I must commend the Bray. It is pretty representative of campus, and any student that needs their opinion voiced can send in a letter. Like Kaine said, you could call, you could send email. They're always asking for students' opinions. They go out, they do student profiles, ask student opinions on things that just happen on campus, like spring fling. They always have, those little articles that keep the paper in touch with campus. And it's pretty good. There's only one problem I've heard voiced about the Bray, is that it's more that it's compiled of things from the Department of Liberal and Performing Arts, more so because that's where the Bray is published. It's a bit lacking in terms of having information from the science department, the math department, things like that. But I think as long as the departments submit anything that they want the campus to know, they should get the voicing that they need.
Kaine, do you feel that there are enough clubs and interest groups for activities you are interested in?
I think there are. I mean, the problem with me is I don't really have that many interests here on campus, but I think there's plenty of avenues for, all the other students. If they have an interest, there's pretty much a club for it.
Okay. In a small town setting like Magnolia, Angela, that's where you live, right? Do you think that Southern Arkansas University provides enough activities that adequately entertain the student population?
I believe so. Every week or so, there's a movie to watch, or there's a play, or you can just go out to Magnolia. I know everybody think Magnolia is just a dead town, but there's a movie theater, a bowling alley, a roller rink. If you want something to do, I'm sure you can find something to do.
But what about the students that have no cars? I mean, many of the international students just got here.
The roller rink is down the street. It's in walking distance. And even the bowling alley is not far from here.
Okay, but in terms of student organizations providing events, do you think that's adequate? Do you think that they do enough?
I'm not sure about that. No, I don't think so.
Well, I must commend the student organizations. They do try. The fraternities put things on during the weekend, and the sororities. Student life does do a lot for the campus, for students that are on campus and don't really want to go to a bowling alley or go to a movie or things like that. They just put on spring fling. There's, like you said, a movie every weekend. The International Student Association puts on a movie during the weekends. They had things like casino night. I think they do a pretty good job. They're probably not enough, but they do give a valiant effort. So, I mean, you have to commend them for that. In terms of variety, though, Angela, do you think there's a lot of variety? I mean, in terms of not the monotonous going to a movie every weekend, do you think they provide variety in things that there are to do on campus?
I believe you should join a group And within that group, I'm sure you can find something to do. I'm not saying just Greek organization. There are Christian organizations. There is a group for everyone. If you really need something to do, you can join a group, and each group has something to do every week. So I think there is enough variety, yes.
Now, Kaine, you live off campus. Do you feel that as a student who lives off campus, you are well informed of campus events?
Sure, they do a good job putting up posters, and a lot of the activity organizations and clubs and stuff send out emails to people, informing. I know especially the Encore is especially good about sending emails out, keeping you informed on what's going on and all that. So they do a pretty good job of keeping off-campus students informed of what's going on.
Great.
Angela, you said you're a member of a sorority. What sorority exactly is that?
Alpha Kappa Alpha.
Okay. Do you think that there's enough participation by fraternities and sororities outside of Greek Week?
Yes, actually, if you're not in a Greek organization, you don't really know what that Greek organization does. All you see is the parties and Greek Week, but actually every week our sorority is supposed to do something. We go to the nursing homes on Saturday mornings, we read to children, we do Special Olympics, everything. It's just, we don't do all of that on campus, so people don't see what sororities and fraternities actually do. But yes, we do a lot.
Do you think that the sororities should have more of a presence on campus itself? We understand that sororities and fraternities do a lot of off-campus aid and work, things like that, but do you think they should have more of an on-campus presence to let people know that they are there and they are doing something?
Well, I assume we should, but we really don't bother too much on campus. But yes, I think maybe we could do better on campus, yes.
Angela, have you ever participated in Spring Fling?
Yes, I was a member of Encore. We performed last year and this year.
Okay. Well, did you enjoy the activities that they had at Spring Fling?
Oh yes, I love it. I love the mountain climbing. My favorite is testing the food and the freebies. So yes, it was fun.
Okay, well, Kaine, do you think, I've heard students complain about food and things like that. Do you think there should have been fast food establishments on campus or in very close vicinity of campus?
I think so, because I understand that SAU has a lot of commuter students that come from Camden and El Dorado and other cities also. And sometimes we don't want to have to get in our car and drive off campus and go to a restaurant out there. It'd be easier just to have something on campus to go sit down, especially if you don't have that much time in between a class. You just go over there to the fast food place and sit down. And I mean, they might have issues about the size of this campus, but another college I went to was about the same size as this campus, and they had 2 fast food establishments within the campus.
True, but there's also the Meal Rider Cafe for commuter students that SAU's put into the Brew Center, where you could go and get sandwiches and snacks in between class. So I suppose they probably wouldn't want a fast food establishment, just to give patronage to that.
Angela, do you feel the school makes sufficient provisions for the nutrition-conscious and weight-conscious students?
I believe so. Even though your first semester here, you do tend to gain a little more weight because so much oil and fat is in the food.
And
but
ice
yes,
cream.
oh yes. But you have a choice of what you eat, and there is some healthy foods there. So you can drink milk and juices besides soda. So I believe, yes, that's up to you. If you want to eat right, you can.
Well, I live on campus, and I must say that the cafeteria doesn't exactly serve totally eco-conscious food, or, it isn't exactly nutritious, but you do have the option of what to eat. There is a lot of variety there. There's a fresh salad bar that's always there. There's fruits, there's drinks, as Angela said. So if you really want to keep healthy, you can. The cafeteria does provide that for you. In terms of weight conscious, I must say the HKR gym, the health building, they've improved. I've spoken to students that were here last year, and they said that the gym improved totally. There's aerobics classes you could go to in the afternoons at like 5:30, and the pool has gotten so much better. And there are just a lot of things that you're able to do. My only problem is that the free weight room is not available to all students. Mm-hmm. It's only available to SAU athletes, and I just thought that was unfair, because the fact is everyone does pay the same tuition, more or less, and they should be able to use the free weights. Granted, I mean, it is at your own risk, and they don't provide someone there to watch you or help you, but if you want to, you should be able to, But Angela, do you feel justified in being required to attend school on public holidays? Granted, we were here on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, so do you think that was fair?
Actually, I do not. I even skipped the class, to be honest, not just to lay around in my room, but the Martin Luther King March was doing a class, and I didn't think he was going to let me out, so I did skip his class. We get out for almost every other holiday, one major holiday, and I think that's something we should get out. A lot of other schools get out for this holiday. I feel like we should be able to get out for this one holiday also.
Kaine, I heard you say before you were upset the fact that we weren't allowed to be out of school for Good Friday. How did you feel about that?
I just think, that should be an observed holiday, I mean, it's a Christian holiday just like Christmas and some other Christian holidays that people get out for. So I think Good Friday should be no exception. And, we get out for Labor Day. I mean, I see no reason why we can't get out for Good Friday.
True.
Or President's Day. Also, we don't get out for that either. I can go on. I won't.
Okay.
Angela, are minority groups adequately represented on campus, in your opinion?
My opinion, no. That's because they really don't, represent themselves. That's my opinion. I know we have the Genesis group, we have the BSU, but the BSA, and they really don't represent themselves. For a long time, I didn't know anything about the BSA, but that organization is here. And all you see really is Greek. That's the only organizations you really just see, and that's not all about campus life. No, I think some of the Christian groups should come out.
I thought that was true when I got here and I spent my first semester and I was looking around to see exactly, because SAU does have a significant minority population, and I thought it was unfair that the only representatives that we have are the fraternities and sororities. Granted, don't get me wrong, they do an excellent job in terms of things they do off campus and on campus, but I just thought it was unfair that minorities, because there are many different minorities on campus. They're not only blacks, but they're Asian students here, and the internationals consider themselves a minority. But Kaine, how do you think the campus could be improved?
How I think it could be improved? Well, I don't know. I haven't really noticed anything, glaring that needs to be improved. They have made a lot of improvements over the years since I've been here. I know they planted new grass like out in front of Cross Hall, where it just used to be just a bunch of dirt sitting out there. They planted new grass and it looks real pretty now. But that's one of the improvements I've noticed since I've been here on campus that they've made.
And Angela, what improvements do you think should be made to the campus?
The problem I have is only with the, if you purchase a book at the beginning of the school year, and at the end of the year, you will not get your full amount back, or you might not get any money back at all. Like, I purchased a book that was $77. At the end of the year, I only got $20 back. And I thought that was such a waste of time. They should inform us at the beginning of the year about this situation or something. That's my main concern about buying books altogether. I'd rather share a book with somebody than to purchase a book. And I know it's not right, but I have a very big problem with that.
But what do you think in general about the bookstore now that it's been changed around, it's been renovated? What's your opinion on it?
It's pretty good. It has music now, have different books you can read. I thought it was pretty well done. It's better than the old way to me.
Kaine, have you been to the new bookstore?
I've been to the new bookstore, but I haven't been to the old one, so I don't really have a comparison to make. But I really enjoy the new bookstore. It's one of the best ones I've been in out of all the colleges that I've been to. And they have a little bit of everything. They have novels you can buy and just regular books and textbooks. But like Angela said, my only problem is that you really can't sell your books back, or you can't get a good price for them. And sometimes they've lied to me and said they're not going to use them next semester. Then lo and behold, I see them using them next semester. So they could do something about that, I think.
Okay, well, thank you, Kaine and Angela, for being with us today. I'm Marsha Walters.
And I'm Casey Wilson. Thanks for watching.
The SAU Report is a production of broadcast journalism students in the Department of Theater and Mass Communication at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.